Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. That giant does respawn, and that's kind of unfortunate. I shouldn't call them giants. Giants are their own thing. That's more of an ogre. So, it's important to use the proper nomenclature. If you don't want to cause confusion, I'm just going to arrow stick it on my shoulder now. It's a little pleasant. You, my friend, don't cause me trouble. Oh boy. Right. I remember what I wanted to say now. So, dodging. Dodging is a thing in this game that you'll notice I'm doing. However, dodging has changed since Dark Souls. In Dark Souls, you would always get the same amount of invincibility frames for your dodge, regardless of your stats. But in Dark Souls 2, you got a new stat called adaptability. It boosts your agility, which agility is linked to the amount of invincibility frames you get in a roll. And generally, if you want roughly the same amount of frames that you would get in Dark Souls 1, you want to get your agility up to about 100. And that's maybe 20 points in adaptability? So yeah, that's an important thing to pay attention to. Also, I mentioned durability earlier. Durability refreshes at each bonfire. So as long as you don't break your weapon between bonfires, you're going to be okay. Again, I don't know if they fixed the 60 FPS bug in this version. We'll probably find out at some point. Alright, taking her a little easy here. These guys are going to start getting up. And there's actually a sniper upstairs who I'm going to want to take care of before we investigate that courtyard anymore. Hi there! Get off. Get off the ladder. See, fighting on ladders is still completely pointless because you cannot outdo the NPCs on a ladder. They just don't work. You'll like be beaten on them and then they'll do one attack and you'll just get knocked right off, so not something I would recommend putting effort into. Oh ho, you're different. This guy wasn't up here before, it was actually an archer. But that's fine. He's not even up here anymore. Whee! What do we got? Ah, the short sword. Exactly what I was hoping for. This is our first proper straight sword of the game. I say proper because it gives thrust attack, which is extremely, extremely good. I did actually complete Dark Souls 2 the first time using nothing but an upgraded short sword. And the long sword does a bit more damage, a bit more range, it's technically better all around, but the short sword is still a very powerful and versatile weapon. And something I may stick with for a while, we'll see. We'll see what the game gives us as far as drops. Yeah, being able to stab a dude like that, I love it. Don't throw firebombs at me. So on the note of durability, as a consequence of that system, it's not a bad idea to have a second weapon around just as backup. You know, in case your first one gets low on durability, there's not a bonfire nearby, and you don't want to break it and get it repaired. So, okay. Let me think here. If I equip that... Where's my weight? I thought it showed you your encumbrance. Oh, it's in the bottom right there above my souls. Gives you a percentage, which is nice. The weight system doesn't... I don't think it's based off of hard percentages as much. There's more of a curve to how much you are encumbered as your equipment load goes up. But I think it's like 33, 66. Those are the more significant breakpoints. Alright, well, I got 2 broken straight swords out of this. That's always nice, I guess. Let's do a fun little thing here and just... Yeah, I'm a real powerhouse now. Dual-wielding broken swords. Can I power stance these? I can. Power stance is a new way of doing dual wielding for the Souls games, and I've never found it extremely useful. I tend to feel that the stamina consumption doesn't make up for, or the damage doesn't make up for the extra stamina consumption, and you're usually better off just two-handing, but it is a really nice option to have, and something I would recommend you play around with if you spend a lot of time with Dark Souls 2. Now, power stancing, just a bit of information on that. It requires you have 1.5 times the statistical requirements for your weapons. So strength, dexterity, intelligence, faith. For both weapons that you're trying to power stance, and they need to be of similar classes as well. There's a whole chart on what can be power stanced with what. But generally, like swords, maces, axes, they will work together. And one more note before I stop talking about power stancing is that requirements will never go above 99. So let's say you have a 70 strength requirement weapon. 1.5 times that would be 105, but since you can't go above 99, it's just 99, and you're fine. Let's see if I can make this jump and not die. I'm gonna consume a life gem just to make sure, because I want to keep my humanity as long as possible. Maybe do some NPC summoning. Huzzah! I made the jump. All that for some souls and a throwing knife. I mean, all that. Oh no, I had to jump 5 feet and then climb a ladder again. What an absolute tragedy. Also, thrust attack on the straight swords does a lot of poise damage. It's probably part of why it's so powerful. I really like the look here of you're kind of going through the roots of the tree. And that's like built into this castle. No! I said no! Whoa! Hey, buddy. I don't know if I can parry him because he's not even using a weapon. Wait. Oh, there was a third. That's why there was a third enemy, because there was a third enemy. Not really sure how I want to build this character yet. Thankfully, it's not something I have to choose right away. Something I can work into. So I'm sure we will find an interesting niche on how to play. Whoop! Alrighty. Got some friends here. Just watch as my stab wrecks everyone. I'm gonna try and do some parrying. You can parry with two-handed weapons, or while two-handing a weapon, but I would recommend not bothering. It's way more trouble than it's worth. If you want to parry, use a small shield. That's the best advice I can give you. Speaking of, let's see if we can get this guy. Nope. There we go. Timing's a little different, and you have to wait for them to fall on the ground before you can do your riposte. So if you, like me in Dark Souls, are used to hitting the attack button as soon as the parry connects, you're going to find that you end up just whacking the enemy. Oh, you're a sniper up there. That guy's new. Yeah, you're just going to hit the enemy normally instead of doing a proper, powerful riposte attack. I don't like being shot at with arrows, but there's not a whole lot I can do about that right now. Ah, the buckler. Take cover here. I can see if that's a little more effective than my Parma. Let's see, it's got better attack. It doesn't have as much, what is this, stability. And it has slightly higher magical resistances, but I don't really use shields for blocking magic. It does... I can't use it effectively. Okay, we're sticking with Parma then. I believe the buckler does have a special parry animation, which makes parrying easier, so that's something to keep in mind. No, sir. Another thing that makes me sad in this game is that the corpses don't ragdoll like they used to. You can't get them stuck in your foot and carry them along with you. They just they ragdoll for a couple of seconds and then freeze in place. I'm glad they brought that back in Bloodborne, even though I'm probably never gonna get to play Bloodborne. Blood. But it's nice to know that it's back, and everybody can enjoy the wonders of floopy floppy corpses. Hi there. And you carry a whole house on your back. Also, her hand is smoking a little bit. I don't know if that's safe. Let's see what you got here. Leningrass is key. I'll definitely buy that. Got a soul arrow on the heel. Not too interested in that. I will take a traveling merchant hat, though. That increases item drop rate, so I'm pretty much going to have that equipped all the time. A few more weapons here. Pretty happy with my short sword, though. Let's see, equipment. Yeah, effect raises item discovery. So a lot of times when you are playing through the game and you end up in a PvP situation, or an invasion or some such, you'll see people wearing this just because, you know, you want to get more item drops when you play the game. You want to find all that sweet loot and have the widest selection of equipment possible. Look at this door. Seems pretty flimsy, don't it? Well, wouldn't you know? Ugh. Come on, then. Yeah, break it down. No sweat. Hi there, Crystallis. Get dead. No, you didn't get dead. This room's a little dark. I think they actually darkened it up, it seems like. I believe that they were trying to make torches a little more useful with this re-release. And in here, at least, I can see them being very helpful. Though I already know the entire room's layout, so it's not a big deal. There might be some areas, though, where I literally have to pull out my torch if I want to do anything. Isn't there an enemy here? Maybe he was replaced by the crystal lizard. There are actually a lot of doors you can break down in this game, by the way. Oh, there you are. Hi, friend. What you got for me? Fireball. Alright, I'll bite. Firebombs are useful. Wait, do I have witch bombs? Yeah, witching urns. we got in this little? Oh, White Sign Soapstone, Radiant Life Gem. I thought that might have used to have been. Wow. An Estus Flask Shard, but it has been a while since I played Dark Souls 2, so a lot of this stuff could just be my faulty memory. Let's see what I get. I got a Hollow Soldier Helm. That's kind of nice, but it's not going to give me increased item drops. Let's see if I can nab that Crystal Lizard before I head back to Majula and unlock our friend Leningrast's workshop. For those sweet, sweet blacksmith upgrades. Hey, Titanite Shard. Always helpful. Also got another shield. What was that? A small leather shield. That's just mostly worse than our Crimson Parma. Now the question becomes, do I spend my 1500 souls on a level up, or on smithing up my weapons?
I'm a blacksmith. Bring me that key.
Oh, right. Just open this door for you. Before you can even react and do anything, I'm going to loot your workshop. That's what friends do, right? Thank you, sir. You may now enter. If I just rest at the bonfire, he'll get in his proper position. That short sword you're working on there kind of looks like mine.
You, stand back. This is dangerous work. The name's Lenigrast. Just a simple blacksmith. And you are? Another useless traveler. A man ought to labor with his feet planted firmly in the earth, not roam around like you flirtatious vagabonds. Oh, what does it matter? Go on, show me what you've got.
Hit me with your best shot. I appreciate being called a flirtatious vagabond, because that's definitely true. Repair stuff, but we don't need to. He will have some weapons for us, like a long sword, which is better than our short sword. He's got a few good weapons here. Falchion. I'm going to hold off on weapon upgrades just a little bit, because we'll get a bit more equipment in the forest. And level ups are always useful. Gotta be more strong. Now, go down this way. Ow. So I'm gonna go down this way. I find it amusing how enemies, once they've been parried, they kind of look up at you like, oh no, what are you going to do now? And then, obviously, you stab them. Just something that amuses me. So, it's easy to get kind of lost in this area and not know how to actually leave it. But up from that area I just jumped off of, there's a path back to the main path. First time in here, though, it took me about 10 minutes of what the heck's going on to actually find that. My own fault, mind you. Good, more torch. What's that noise I'm hearing? Oh, they've got a turtle knight down here. Okay. Changes things up a little. Also, when you're in a parry, backstab, or post animation, you aren't necessarily invulnerable. So that's something to be aware of. Let's see, this is objectively much worse than my Crimson Parma. Item up there. That item up there. That item up there? That? Item. We may not be able to get to that for quite some time. So, you look like you need some magic damage. It's not as effective as I would like. Ow. Also, because he's a turtle knight, that guy cannot be backstabbed. You'll be in a bad spot if you try and do that. Now, you see, I remember that item up on the wooden scaffolding being there. I don't necessarily remember one right above this cave, though. So, it'll be interesting to find out what that is. And... hi. Yeah, see what I mean? This guy's ready for you. And your tricks. Take a witching urn. Right to your face. Probably shouldn't be wasting them, but it's also fun, so... I like having fun. That's a fun tunnel. We'll go there soon. Oh boy, another junk shield. How lovely. Yeah, this tunnel's on fire a little bit. If you look down there, there's a frickin' flame salamander who's just kind of waiting like, hey, you want to get shot in the face with fireballs? And I say, not so much. However, we can use his pauses to get this door open, and it didn't kill me too much. You get a fabulous reward for dealing with this obstacle, which I am going to equip right now. Fire Longsword. Ow. It was worth it. It was all worth it. And hi there, friend! Where'd you come from? So our way out, as I mentioned, just over here. Beware of enemies. Ow. Oh, right. One thing about the longsword is when you're one-handing it, you do not get the thrust attack like you would with the short sword. something I'll need to be aware of. I like my health. Obviously the simple solution there is to just two-hand your weapon all the time. You know what? You're fine. You do whatever you do. I got what I wanted. There was a trick you could pull here. I'm gonna see if I can do it right now. Because this wall is actually a shortcut. Nope, it didn't work. Either I did it wrong or they fixed that, but we're gonna have to go down this ladder. Remember, hold down in your sprint button to slide, as opposed to just dropping. What you got for me? Their firebomb. You know, those were some decent moves, but you're a little slow. What that has to do with you being crazy undead? Not just normal undead, but crazy undead. Extra super A+ undead. The undeadliest. Now the re-deadliest. Whoa, don't fall down there. You can survive, but it's tricky and there's lots of danger. Wouldn't recommend going down there at first. No, that's something you can come back to. I haven't been lighting torches. How very rude of me. I do especially want to light this torch here. Not only for the reason that I will probably need to light it later if I don't do it now. I think each torch pickup gives you about 5 minutes. So once they start dropping a lot, you will have no shortage of torch time. Foosh. Onward through the mist. No boss fights yet, though. Unless something magical happens, we'll have to see. Don't trust these barrels anymore. Oh, boy. Another turtle knight. Nope. Getting chunked here. Good job. Yeah, these are exploding barrels. That's a good thing to know. You are the one who was pointing at me earlier. Oh well. I can kill him another time. My friend? I'm gonna throw that over here. No, a little bit further. Alright, maybe we'll take this one pizza at a time. I don't know how his block is working there, considering I was to the side of him. Yeah, one of the things that... One of my major problems with this game is that hitboxes are not quite what you would think. A lot of times you'll get really weird hitboxes that don't make a lot of sense. You know what? Heck with it. There we go, I blew up the wall. That's what I was trying to do before. Good throw, my friend. Good throw. Why couldn't you throw it at the barrels when I wanted you to, though? One at a time here, please. Especially because you are a real problem. Okay. Now, fun thing here. This guy! Meet the Pursuer. His job is to hunt down rowdy undead and give him what for. Let's see if I can fight this guy. I used to be pretty decent. Oh, that attack is scary. Ow! His sword is big. Thankfully, you can very often just, dodge into his attack, and you'll be good. You can also dodge out of his attack, and you'll be good. So long as you don't get hit, you're usually going to be okay. That one you really got to watch out for, though. He has this neat little thing where he can turn you hollow with his sword when it's glowing blue like that. So if you get stabbed, you're in for a bad time. Losing health and losing max health. Hey, buddy, I staggered you. What do you think of that? Seems like they fixed the hitbox on it, though. It used to hit a lot of times when it shouldn't. Jeez, man. That's a new attack pattern. That's not one that was in the game before. That is when he does his triple thrust. Okay, okay. No, I'm not even gonna give you that. Getting a little greedy here. Shouldn't be doing that. Okay. I did it! And actually, you only get one chance. Wow, where did you guys come from? I guess y'all just woke up. It's like, hey, Pursuer's dead. Party time. Yeah, you get one chance to fight him in this arena. If you fail, he does not come back. But you do get to fight him again later. So you don't really miss out on anything except getting, one, the Ring of Blades early, which is extremely nice. If I actually take a second and look at it here, you can see that it raises my attacks. Okay. Oh, there's an Exodus Flask Shard. How lovely. You You, my friend, are not so lovely. So I'm just gonna poke you till you fall down. Where is he then? Oh, he's still just hanging out here. It's like, oh, do I have to fight? I just want to sit back and throw explosives. Oh, 21,000 souls. Oh, well then. Also, this episode's been going a little long. So next time on Let's Play Dark Souls 2, we're going to continue exploring the castle. There's an area down there I didn't actually get to. And until then, don't get greedy in boss fights or you're liable to have your head removed.